question of the day is, if your character knew that they were going to die in a month, how would they spend the rest of their life?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure Maz fully grasps the concept of dying because
Hmm.
I don't think she'd do anything differently. She would just keep living her life because, like, what else is she gonna do?
Fair?
Gross would say that's rookie numbers. You got to pump that up, up, up. Supposed to live like you're dying every day. So if you're gonna die in a month, then you're fucking. What are you doing? Got a head injury or something?
I mean, Grotus has a point.
That checks out for Grotus.
I think for Braz, she would just make sure there was somebody to look out for Maz. But otherwise, just keep living life day to day. Have as much fun as she can. Eat as many pickles as she can.
All right. All right.
I would medically, uh, and I would numb up the lead Banyan boy and paralyze the rest. And then I'd open up the chest cavity and I would climb inside using my healing magic and healing potions to ensure that he remained alive. And then I would stitch myself in and I would walk him around for however long I had left until I died inside of him.
Mm.
All right.
Wow.
Very
That was a
specific.
beautiful story.
I wasn't really sure where it was going at first.
And the whole time, the entire time, I would be reminding him and the other ones that I have paralyzed watching this
Mm.
that this could have all been prevented if they just showed respect to people that are new to town.
Some people have to learn lessons the hard way.
Indeed. So it would seem. Sheesh. All right. So, does anyone remember what happened last time?
We went to we had to fight the vampires champion and then them a little bit because they respond to strength, and so we showed them that we were strong.
Yep.
In farts.
We also preached and used the power of Gronka to make them scared. And then we went to a feast of blood and we did a lot of activities. There was a bunch of weird activities
There were.
Scorch
that we
threw up a
did.
lot.
Scorch did throw up a lot. That is true.
Scorch was the most dog.
Yeah, he was the most dog. Threw up some more, ate the puke. Yep.
I think he also ate Grotus's puke,
So
didn't
he
he?
threw up, and then he ate his throw up, and threw that up, and then he ate Grotus's throw up.
Right. That's right. Grotus had a little bit of a rough time with the food. That's right.
Yeah, Grotus, sorry, you threw it up. It was gross.
He threw up.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a cultural exchange with this Erdofan tribe down here in the Black Desert. And, we had the banquet, we had the passing around of the goblet full of boiling blood that we all chugged from and did various amounts of well with that. I think everyone actually rolled pretty. I don't think anyone took any damage, but a couple of you definitely looked like you had a hard time doing it.
We all did it,
Yeah,
but
you
none of
all
us
did it.
looked that cool.
Yeah, nobody looked cool doing it, but you did it. There
No, I think
was.
Honker succeeded, didn't he?
I think you're right. I think Honker did do well across the board. That's right. Uh,
That's because
He
I'm
was
the
in
best.
his natural bloody element.
right. That makes sense. And then we had, of course, some perfect dancing, some fire juggling, some wrestling, making noises with quote unquote music. Um, it was a whole experience. And after all of this, you had the chance to meet with Karostan, who was the war chief of this particular clan. And I'll get the picture up here since I know Grotus hasn't seen it. Let's see here. Here's Karostan,
Bro.
right? Very metal. And he had some requests, or he had a request for you all. Um, that he had a prisoner that he was interested in having you try to talk to slash break because they hadn't been having much luck getting information out of him. And in exchange for doing so, he would gift your group 2 necklaces that negate the ceiling radiation of the place, of this entire place. And so you guys agreed to go and chit chat with the prisoner here. You guys went over there. You met with Kufar, who was a tiefling, and learned a bit about kind of some of the stuff going on down here. He was, he was basically a slave. He was a house servant in the Drow city of Shrain, which is on the eastern end of the Black Desert, and that they had been sent out uh, they were out on like a scout patrol uh, for their masters in the desert and got attacked, and everyone else in their party got killed, and he got dragged all the way back here because there's been this long-standing conflict going on between the Erdefans down here and the Drow um, over over Shrain, which is this kind of fortified city in the east, and control of the area down here. And some forces from Shrain had been spotted going into the Cradle of Worms, which is where you guys are headed, that lush valley where the orb and stuff is supposed to be at. And the Erdefans and Karastan were very curious as to why. What they were doing there, what plans the Drow had, trying to find out, what their deal was, and if there was some sort of plot they were doing to attack, the Erdefans, and if they could get info and preempt that. And so you guys, managed to get some information out of him. You found that instead of trying to beat the shit out of him to get information out of him, being nice to him seemed to work pretty well. He'd been treated like shit his entire life, and so he was very used to being treated like shit, and so that wasn't going to work. But you guys managed to kind of show a little kindness to him, heal him a little bit from the wounds that he had, and nobody ever gave this guy a hug before, and so it meant a lot.
And I gave him pickles.
Yeah, you gave him pickles. He'd never had a pickle before. So you got this information out of them. And, Karastan was impressed by this. So you guys do have those 2 necklaces in the party sheet to, give to whoever you want to wear those. So just to note where everybody's at with the blight burn right now. And we probably need to do another roll for the blight burn, actually. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Everybody give me a fortitude save, because we technically should be doing this every single day that we're down here.
I think so.
Okay, so let me take a look at where we're at right now. Okay. So, Maz, you had not fallen under affliction to the blight burn before, and you still do not. You managed to
All
resist that.
right.
Honker,
Heart power ahoy.
You had previously started feeling the effects of this, and it has been a few days since that set in, and you currently have stage 1 of Blightburn sickness, which means you are drained 1 for a short time. And with this roll that you just did, you kind of feel like you're heading in a worse direction at some point, at some time in the future. Braz, you in the past had also rolled poorly on your Blightburn save and have been feeling a little nauseous and iffy. You are also at stage 1 of Blightburn sickness. And with your roll, you also feel that you're heading in a worse direction with that diagnosis. Grotus, the last roll we did, you did not pass it, but it hasn't quite set into stage 1 yet. So you're still just kind of
Is this
feeling, you got that like on the edge of sickness type feeling about it. A little
a
on the
bonus? Is this a poison or disease?
it is a disease, yes. Do you have something that,
Oh, yes.
what do you got?
I stop timeless body. You cease aging. In addition, you get +2 bonus to saving throws against poisons and diseases.
Uh-huh.
This gives the poison damage equal half my level.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I don't remember what you had rolled last time, but with that bonus, then uh, you're good this time. And you still haven't set in what you felt last time, but you feel like you might reach stage 1 sometime soon. But it is not progressing worse at the moment. So Maz, you're still fine. So that's where we are. So in terms of dealing with Blightburn, we have those 2 necklaces that can be worn by someone, which will negate the radiation entirely, but only 2 of you can do it. And then, of course, we have the various potions, which can be taken, which is pretty much the only other way to get rid of it at this point. So, up to you guys how you want to deal with that, or when you want to. Actually, let me take a look. Let me see how much anti-plague they are major. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like if you take the anti-plagues that you were given by the druids in the tower, so they give you a bonus to fortitude saving throws against diseases for a while. They help with slowing progression of disease you already have, and you can make a saving throw immediately, which if you pass, cures you of that disease. But it can set in again in the future, depending on your rolls. So managing that is up to you guys. But you're only at stage 1 right now. Just to kind of give you a little rundown of where Blightburn sickness goes. So stage 1 is drained 1, and you stay stage 1 for like it lasts for a day. Stage 2, if you progress to that point, you are drained 1 and sickened 1 for a day. If you are stage 3, you are drained 2 and sickened 2 for a week. If you reach stage 4, you are drained 3 and sickened 3 by a month. And then stage 5, the drain condition increases to drained 4 and lasts a year. So, radiation sickness. It's fun. It's tingly. So aside from that gift from him, he had a bit of a mission for you because he was pretty impressed with you. You guys participated in the feast. You did pretty well in the various cultural exchange activities you did at the feast. You managed to break, as it were, the prisoner and get information out of him. So he's pretty happy with you guys right now. And so he had a mission for you to, and since you're already headed to the Cradle of Worms anyways, he wanted you to find out what the drow are doing there when you go. And he's sending one of his hunters to accompany you as part of the party. So this is Thaxon. They're currently traveling with you right now. And they are going to be, reporting back to Karastan on any information you guys find, and helping you in your fights, and them being with you, and also carrying the word of Karastan. Urdefans are not going to come after you in the Black Desert for the time being, since you have his blessing to travel. And if you do manage to come back and provide him information that you found about what's going on in the Cradle of Worms, he has promised to reward you even further for doing this for him. And that, I believe, is where we are at. So currently we are we're like 100 and some miles still from the Cradle of Worms itself. So that's a few. See, I think we figured with our Skinthia bus, we're doing like 30, I think, a day ish, if I remember correctly. So
That sounds right.
it'd take about 5 days to get from here to the Cradle of Worms itself. And once we get there, of course, we have other things to look into. You guys did find, and that's just to remind you of some information that you did get out of Karastan, because you did talk to him a bit about the Cradle of Worms. So you had asked him about the poem that the Druids had told you about from the journal, like the Traveler's Journal. About this, the Azure Eye, the Sunken Titan, the Crown of Teeth, these supposed landmarks we're supposed to be looking for down there, that will supposedly help us figure out where Zulkandur, this legendary pyramid, that where the orb is located, is supposed to be found. And Karastan had a couple thoughts for you about what those were. He had surmised that the eye is probably a lake of some kind. The Titan is probably like a buried monument of some kind, and the crown might be some sort of ruin. So those were some little factoids he decided to provide you here. He didn't know much about Zulkandur itself, aside from that it supposedly holds many ancient secrets and there's something powerful there. And he assumes that's probably what the drow from Shrine are after and what he wants to know more about. And
Sorry, first note takers. The eye is a lake, the Titan is a what, and the crown is a ruin?
Oh, yeah. So his assumption about what those things were, he said the Azure Eye sounds like it's probably a lake. The Titan is probably like a buried monument, so like like a huge statue that got like partially buried in the sand or something. And the crown, some sort of structure with like ruins or something that look that way. That was his guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is from Karston.
Yeah, this is from Karistan. You would also talk to him a bit about Shrain, because he's very interested in what's going on with that. So Shrain is a drow city that they've been at war with for centuries, and there aren't a lot of drow, but they have many, many, many slaves that they basically use as cannon fodder to die for them. And supposedly the drow also use some sort of accursed magic to control purple worms, and their city has high walls and ancient magic protecting it that is preventing the Urdefans from claiming their deserved victory, they say. But they say they will go and kill as many of their slaves and eradicate the drow and claim Shrain at some point. And then lastly, the Zulgaths, who are the lizard people we've been running into this entire campaign. Um, he said they don't see them very often. The crystals burn them, and so they don't survive in the desert very long. Which is interesting because you have seen like the initial ruins when you first got out of the initial cavern to the Black Desert proper. Like it had huge statues guarding the door of Zilgaths, and like you found sign of other like ancient Zilgath civilizations, so that they were here at some point, and perhaps at some point before whatever all this radiation bullshit happened. um but they don't seem to come around here anymore very often, so interesting. So yeah, so this first bit here is mainly going to be a bit of travel and some dice rolling regarding the Blightburn. So like I said, we have about 5 days of travel to go through. So let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. So who are we giving the necklaces to? The Blightburn necklaces.
Me and
Mm,
Hunker are the worst off, right?
I think
At the moment,
Braz
yes.
should. I think Braz should definitely have one because she has the recipe to make more of the potions we have.
That is a good point. Keep the healer alive.
Um, and then the second one, either Honker because he's worse for wear, or Grotus because he's our tank.
Okay.
So I guess Honker's
Grotus,
really
upon
the
hearing
best
this,
bet.
snatches it from your hands and then places it gently upon Honker.
Grotus is like, I cherish this moment to face death.
that, that makes
This
sense.
literally makes my balls tingle. I can feel my sperm growing new muscle.
In fact,
Put
you might
that on a
have super
t-shirt.
babies.
All right. So if we're doing that, so bras with the necklace. Okay, and so to note, the necklace does not cure you of what you already have. Like you'd still have to chug an anti-plague and hope that you roll good on the cure. Or you can just wait it out. You're currently at stage 1, so that only lasts a day. for now. So as long as you keep those on there, you shouldn't progress any further. So in that case, so Grotus and Maz, we're just going to do a mass roll of this. So Grotus, Maz, give me 5 fortitude saving throws.
Okay.
And we'll just do all the mathing for this out of the gate.
I'm
And
not putting in the +2 every time. Just remember they're all +2.
yes, that is correct. So during this time, we're in our Skinthia bus, gliding across the desert with, the wings that we've affixed onto her that we stole from a giant bat.
We did not steal them. We won them fair and square.
That's true. You won them
I'm
fair and
going
square.
to assume that I failed like 2 of those rolls.
All right, let me take a look back up here. So let's see. Rhodas. All right, so for you, pass, 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 pass. Okay, so Grotus, you only failed one of them. And so... And that was the very first one that you rolled. So that would have been the first day of travel. So you are currently at stage 1 of this then. Let me drop that. There we go. And then Maz, let's see. Fail, pass, fail, pass, fail. Okay. So Maz.
Oh man, I failed 3.
Yeah, you failed 3. Okay, so let's see. That would be, and then we do the onset of 3.
Maz just hopes this means that she'll glow in the dark.
Maybe. Could be.
That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Like, she's already green. Why not make her glow in the dark green?
right? You can be like those little glow in the dark planets that we all had stuck to our ceilings and when we were kids.
Is it
Is
bad
it
that I
bad that
kind of still want to get those
I
for my
was just
room?
gonna say that.
I feel like I haven't seen those in a store. I mean, I'm sure they still make them, but I feel like I haven't seen
You
those.
can usually find them at like craft stores.
Okay, so Moog, when I come home with a bunch of sticky glow in the dark planets, you're gonna help me put them up, right? That's not a joke.
Damn it, I
Dead
wish we lived in the
serious.
same city because I would definitely do that with you.
All right, so
I
let's
have
see.
glow in the dark filament too, so I can if you need specific shapes. Let me know.
Nice. Okay. So let's see. Your first fail was on the first day, and so let's see. We rolled that. So 3, 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it kind of sounded like I failed every other day.
Yeah, I know. I'm figuring out with the way the onset for this works. So let's see.
Nope, sorry, crit fail. You got turbo AIDS.
God
Oof.
damn it.
All right. So
Dude, I
Maz.
thought
Not
only
because I
Grotus
took
was
the
gonna have
spell.
to deal with that.
All right. So Maz, you're currently drained. All right. And in case you're curious, what the drained condition does is it is a penalty on Constitution base rolls, and it also means that your maximum hit points get lowered by a level
Ew.
equal to the drained, and your level. So let's see. So drained
How
1.
about not?
Yeah, it can be a lot in the further stages. So you're currently drained 1. So the 3 of you that have it are currently down 15 hit points. And that multiplies in the further stages, like stage, 2 or stage 3 when it's drained 2. That's, you're down 30 hit points, and so on as it gets worse. You can see why
Have
some
I
of you can see why
have
some
I
of the
missed
graffiti
what I
you
hate
found is.
here?
Oh, what? Go ahead.
Have I Seth, Dad, I really hate it here. Because I do.
It is pretty spicy. Okay. So, after 5 days of travel, you guys are, getting close to the area where the Cradle of Worms supposedly is. And you can see up ahead of you, all throughout the Black Desert, this has mostly just been kind of rolling dunes of black sand and like random rock outcroppings and stuff like that. But up ahead of you, you see things kind of rise up a bit, quite a bit out of the sand, and there's what looks to be kind of a large, rock ridge that extends for quite a ways to the east and the west, and you assume kind of in circles around this area here. And Thaxon has been riding with you this whole time, and you've managed to avoid much confrontation because since you had this deal with the Erdofans, they're not coming after you. They're not harassing you as you cross the desert here. But everybody, give me a perception roll. You're probably about a couple of miles out from getting up to this. Okay. So Honker, you're pretty attuned to Skinthia. She is your creation after all, and you notice, kind of, it's a little distant, but you can kind of feel through, Skinthia and just kind of the ambience around you, a deep vibration in the sand. And I wish I had my sounds, because I would be playing Dune Worm sand sounds right now.
Oh God, is it the thing again?
So Honker, you feel this, and you recall that you felt this before.
No.
It seems
Oh, guys, the worms are
it
coming
seems
again.
distant, but
Is
They're
it the
coming.
worm or
We
the
should
things
eat
that
them.
ate the worms? Because I don't want either.
Well, let's hang out and see.
Or we could
Oh,
keep
wait,
going at
no. If
maybe a faster pace.
we're going to the like Valley of the Worms, wouldn't we expect to hear worms there? This feels fine. Let's keep going.
all right. So you guys continue on, the few miles you have left, trying to reach, this ridge and get off the sand, and into, whatever is up here. And when you are about a mile or so out from the ridge here, uh, the vibration in the sand has gotten quite a bit more noticeable, and all of you, including your guest right now, Thaxon, hears this, and you can see Thaxon, like they're a hunter of this vampiric tribe, and they've been pretty serious and quiet, most of this time that you've been traveling, and you can see their red eyes are kind of wide a bit, and you hear them whisper under your breath, "The horror of the sands. It approaches. We must get off the sand quickly. We may
I'll
be
have to
strong, but
call
we have no
Nick,
chance
guys.
in this fight."
Let's haul ass.
Boogie.
All right. So you guys, give Skinthia a nice slap on the ass, appreciatively, and
Moist.
tried moistly, trying to get her to speed up.
Hunter, what kind of noise does Skinthia make when we slap her on the ass?
We might regret asking this.
We might.
I feel like it's an important question.
It is.
Hmm.
If a spider could have a wet fart, that's
They
my
do.
guess.
All
They
right.
make a little weird. Yeah. I imagine it's like if you slapped like one of the Kardashians on the ass. No jiggle. It's fairly solid, mostly concrete between the skin layers.
All right. That's a great image.
Is it though?
Thank you for your contributions, Honker.
Cynthia, you are fur. We appreciate
Keeping it tight, girl.
All right. So you manage to get up off of the sand. Um, but it is pretty close because you guys get up onto this ridge and it's stone and it's not just the loose sand of the desert anymore. And as you guys get up here and are Scynthia's doing their best to get up this ridge, um, Yggdrasil does burst out of the sand behind you all, and almost immediately, all of you just like in your vision get this like uh, nightmarish vision of the burning triangle covered with eyes. The aura of this thing is incredible, and it kind of it erupts out of the sand behind you, and it's too bad I can't play its sound effect right now, otherwise I would.
Look,
Um,
I I'm okay with it.
don't worry,
You could recreate it yourself.
I'm sure we'll hear it again in the future. Um, but once it gets out, and you guys are all kind of like rubbing this vision out of your eyes, and you guys are feeling almost kind of mortal terror a bit in your in your soul from this thing behind you. Um, but it stays there at the edge of the sands, and it seems to be watching you guys a bit. Um, everybody give me what would be good for this? Just perception. Let's do perception.
I'm so perceptive.
All right. Maz, Honker, you're kind of you're seeing this horrible thing at the edge of the desert, and even though you're getting away from it, like that thing is huge. It's enormous, and it is slowly getting smaller, but not fast enough for your liking. It almost seems it strikes you, Honker and Maz. It almost seems curious about you all for some reason. You're not sure why.
That means it's gonna keep following.
Unless we do something weird enough to like wig it out.
You really think we're gonna do something that's gonna make that weirded out?
No, but Honker might.
I can't remember if Grotus had seen this picture, but here it is.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and close that.
Like, we don't need to look at that again.
Nah, we're good. We're good.
Only positive vibes here. Please and thank you.
All right.
No, only pickle vibes here.
Even better.
Fair. So, you come up over the ridge here, and as you burst over the ridge here, it's almost a little blinding, because you've gotten so used to the black sand and nothing of this area. because you've been, traveling through this place for, over a week, like a week and a half at this point. Um, you come over the ridge, and it is like a burst of verdant green hits your eyes. And this isn't the best map. You have to kind of zoom in a bit. But it's that little green pocket in the southwest corner of the map is where we're coming in from the northeast on. So under the alien starlight of the Blightburn crystals in the ceiling, this jagged, miles-long valley, the Cradle of Worms, kind of spreads below you all on the ridge. The slopes and edges of the valley. So you guys are currently like kind of right on that thick black line encircling that's kind of the ridge line around this. So behind you, and then for a bit in front of you, it's kind of bare stone and some sand. It's blown in from the Black Desert. But a couple of miles down the slope, it becomes grasses and weeds, trees and bushes, and leafy plants, and it almost is a bit. It becomes a bit of a thick jungle tangle down below you. There's massive trees that stand hundreds of feet above the floor of the valley in the central bit there. There's this whole area has like a massive canopy of just thick jungle trees over all of it, and it's quite a sight to behold. Something that you do notice about the plant life that you see here, because like you've seen forests, perhaps you've even seen jungle type terrain in your circus travels before. Um, the plants down here are a little strange. Like they're in forms you're not familiar with, forms you haven't seen before. Lots of very big ferns. Um, you know, think like, depictions of Jurassic era flora that, we had here. Lots of ferns, lots of, funky fern-like trees and stuff, things like that. It's very, very ancient and, and a little alien in its presentation. Stuff that definitely is no longer on the planet's surface. You've never seen stuff like this up there. It's very primeval. And you looking over the jungle here, you don't see anything that looks like an Aeon Tower. Like, so it's not, wherever it is, it's not super obvious. There's no giant pyramid poking up out of the jungle anywhere, so it's unfortunately not that easy for you guys. But it's easy to see how it might have gotten lost. That jungle is thick. Um, and in terms of landmarks, so of course, you have the things in mind from the Traveler's Journal that you do know. And from the ridge, you do see some things that seem like that would line up with what you've heard and the suggestions that Karostan had. You see in kind of the center of the jungle, there appears to be a lake. Like it's big enough that you can see a gap in the trees from here, and you can see, the water and, reflections off of it over there. Uh, you also see to the, let's see here. To the west of you guys. So here, let me drop a little token on the map here so you can see like where you guys are. All right. So here's Thaxon. They're not that big, but you guys are approximately here at the edge of the cradle worms here. So you see the lake down there in the middle. You kind of straight west of where I put Thaxon's token here. You can see those big, like, spikes sticking out of the ground. And they appear to be very large rock formations, and they almost look like teeth. And they rise out of the sand and rock to the west of you quite a ways around the cradle here. And then to the south, you can see on the map there's some kind of structure, like right at the south central edge of the area. And it appears, it's a little hard to see from the distance, but you can make out the shape of what looks like a massive clawed hand towering out of the sand and stone on the far southern side of the jungle. So it seems you have some headings.
Spooky hand of the desert seems appealing, beckoning almost.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
go.
up to you guys. Which one of these ones do you want to check out first? The spooky hand, it sounds like?
Why not?
All right.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, whatever.
So, you guys, of course, rest here for a bit, and then, continue your journey. Are you guys, circling around the edge to get down around to the hand on the southern side, or trying to cut through?
Well, hold up, let's consult. What was the poem again here? Because we definitely see the hand's probably the Titan, the monument, right?
Okay. Let me get that pulled up here. Let's see.
I'm trying to do. I'm rewinding in my notes.
They have azure eyes, sunken titan, crown of teeth. Each gaze upon the pyramid, but none see complete.
Let's see. So we're probably gonna have to visit all three anyway.
Probably.
Yeah, and just to remind you guys of some information from the Druids. One of the things the guy who related to you this poem told you was that it seemed that in the Farwalker's journal that there was mention that he had left clues about Zulgundr at these locations.
Okay.
So you are correct in your assumption that it seems like visiting these would give you information on how to find the specific spot.
Mm.
All right.
I mean, the closest one is the crown. It seems.
Yeah, the closest one, or at least easiest to get to that wouldn't involve jungle excavations, um, is the crown. That's to the west of you. It's still a decent distance. It's like another day, maybe two, to get to it because this place is not small.
Okay.
But it's hard to miss.
I mean, might as well hit that one first. See what we get.
Okay. All right. So you guys travel another. Let's see. Let me measure here. Yeah, it'll be 2 days. All right. So Grotus, Maz, with your Blightburn, a day. It's been a day since it's set in for you guys. So it at least clears up for now. You feel a little better, but we still have to roll for more because you're still in a radioactive wasteland. So Grotus, Maz, give me 2 fortitude rolls, and we'll see how they go.
Well, failed that.
All right.
I blame the lag on my laptop.
All right. So in your travels, so your first day, it kind of clears up, like your symptoms clear up a bit. And on the second day, both of you are kind of feeling it again. It hasn't set back in, but it's familiar. It's that, tickle in the back of your throat when you're about to get a cold. You're like, ah, fuck. And then you do a bunch of mouthwash and hope that that takes care of it. But you feel it coming back. It's difficult to fight off. It's ever present down here. But you do make it to your destination here. So amid the landscape of black dunes and rock here, three curved rock formations shaped like a carnivore's teeth rise out of the sand. And the three of them, they're fairly close together, and they kind of arc out of the sand, and the tips of them come pretty close to touching each other way up above. They're about 600 feet tall. Like, you guys get to them, and these are enormous. And everywhere around here, you notice the surface is perforated by tunnels. You see these like big tunnel holes all over the place, and in between the tunnels there are long swaths of sand that seem like they've been, like, flattened a bit. Something has moved through these tunnels and moved across the sand on the surface of the desert here. Thaxon, sees these and says, "The worms, they nest here. These are signs of their movement."
Do you think we'll face trouble from them?
We may if we're not careful. These these are the sort of things they do for perhaps nesting grounds for the eggs that they lay for their spawn. I'm certain they will be interested in protecting their young. We will
And
need to
don't
be
the drow have
cautious.
certain ways of controlling these things?
Dirty drow of Shrain have accursed magic that can control the purple worms. Uh, Most of the time we see them control them around Shrain itself. So unless there are, drow specifically near here, I do not think these could be controlled by the drow directly. They are wild. But still very dangerous.
You ever fought wild purple worms before?
Oh yes. They are a fierce fight. And their venom is quite toxic. But when prepared properly, it can be quite an interesting addition to a feast.
Man, I'm always excited about experiencing new neurotoxins.
So let's see. Anybody who wishes to give me a nature check if you want to kind of see what you know or what you can deduce about these. And Thaxon's going to as well, because they're a hunter and this is kind of their thing. Let's see.
I am not very wise, but I will roll.
I'm a clever improviser of dubious knowledge here, so I might be able to add like something here. I have incredible improviser. Gain +4 circumstance bonus to this triggering skill check of clever improviser, which is, I think, I gain the untrained improvisation. In addition, you can attempt skill actions that normally require you to be trained if you're untrained or whatever.
Well,
I'm
even with
making shit
that,
up.
it would still not be enough. So if you want to make up something that you think you find about the worms, feel free.
Yeah, my proficiency bonus to untrained skill checks is, yeah, it's not that good. Sorry.
All right. So among all of you here, um, of course, it's not hard to identify that there are worms, but you're not super familiar with the purple worm. These aren't things you run into a lot. Faxon though takes a look and speaks up that they identify that there are likely a dozen or such worms that have passed through this area in the past few weeks.
All right. I don't want to fight a dozen worms, but I guess we're game, right? Here we go.
All right. So, as you guys, kind of cautiously approach the crown itself, uh, give me a perception check as you guys are like trying to get a good look at what this is or what might be around here. Supposedly something is here that might be a clue. Um, Keeping an eye out
Wait,
for
what
it.
are we rolling? Perception?
Perception, yeah. All right. Grotus and Maz, you guys are, examining these massive pillars here. And the two of you notice that way up at the very top where the tips almost come together, there seems to be a flat rock wedged between the tips of the three stones, 600 feet above you.
All right, interesting. We should probably use that to stay off the sand, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would get you off the ground. It is 600 feet up there. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, you
It might
can't.
also.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, just what were we saying?
I was gonna say if you're trying to get up there, I mean, one, you can just bare ass try to climb these. But if of course, if you have any other things in your pockets or feet arsenal or whatever else that you could use to scale this, uh,
Is pockets is?
feel free.
Um, Grotus can run up vertical surfaces, maybe not 600 feet, but that's gonna help them out a bit, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it in strides. Run up a bit, hang on for a little bit, run up a bit.
Yeah, I've also got. If we go, I've got RX jerky. I've got, I think, a monkey pin thing. Yeah,
Okay.
monkey pin.
Okay. What does this
I've
do?
had this damn thing forever. It's a consumable talisman. A small brass pin in the shape of a monkey climbing tree. When you activate the talisman, use climb action. If you succeed, you move your full speed during the climb. You roll a successful failure. Oh, sorry. If you roll a critical failure, you get a failure instead. So I'm going to pass this monkey pin to somebody who can't just walk or run up vertical elevations.
Okay.
I'm going to put that into, I can drop it in the party sheet.
All right.
I
What?
don't think Scorch can climb this thing.
He probably.
Well, with this thing, he can move his full speed. If Scorch can somehow use a talisman, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Grotus is effectively a kind of party member, not exactly. He's a character, so
You mean
he can use abilities and talismans and shit.
He sure is.
I'm not.
He's a goofy guy.
Rotus, you're only kind of a party member.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of figuring out how you want to go about trying to climb up this thing, um, Maz, you you feel rumbling beneath your feet. Not as big as the stuff that you saw outside, but you feel rumbling in the sand.
Guys, I think getting off the sand sooner rather than later is probably the best idea.
Well, let's skedaddle.
Commence the skedaddling.
All right. So give me athletics. Aside from, I think, the person who has the monkey thing that just lets them be able to monkey it on up. Athletics checks.
I am just not rolling well tonight.
Oof.
Oh, Moz is so strong.
All right. And you said we gave Scorch the monkey pin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, it takes a little bit because, it is 600 feet tall. So it's not a small amount of effort. But Grotus and Maz and Scorch, you guys managed to kind of clamber your way between, outcroppings and little
I think
divots in the rock and whatnot.
I think Honker fits well within my carrying capacity, and I would like to if see Honker struggle,
yeah. Honker and
load them
Braz are
into my
both
pack.
struggling a bit.
I can carry. I'm pretty sure I can carry Honker's body weight pretty easily.
I'd say that's definitely doable. Yeah.
So
And Braz,
yeah,
you could try to, you know, hold on to Scorch. That would probably be reasonable.
so
Ooh,
yeah, that's how Curtis gets up. I think Honker would be negligible weight. Just load him in the pack or hold on to my back, little spider monkey.
Oh God.
All right. All
Did you
right. So you
really
guys
have to
are
throw a
doing your
Twilight
climb.
reference in?
What is that? Would you say, Riz?
I asked Sam why he had to put a Twilight reference in.
because it fit.
So you guys
Hanging out with
can.
vampires.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Thaxton is climbing up there along with you. They're a skilled hunter. They can climb pretty easily. The rumbling kind of increases a bit as you guys are continuing to climb, and you get up to this flat surface with your helping of each other and whatnot, and looking down below you, you see a pretty large worm come out of the sand, and it seems to be searching around the area. If it felt something, you guys, but you seem to have gotten up off the sand for now. But it comes out of one of the holes, and you see it moving around the area. It's quite large. It's even a little bit bigger than the purple worms you've encountered before. This is a crimson worm. Um, but after a short while of it searching around trying to find what vibrated its business, it disappears back into one of the holes.
That was a
Uh,
horrible sentence.
yeah.
Vibrated its business.
Vibrates business.
So up here on the flat surface, uh, you see that this rock is covered in a lot of carvings of pictures and text. Most of them are in Draconic or Undercommon. I think most of you can read Undercommon at least. I think. I know. Pretty sure
I
Braz
think
can
I'm the
do
only one that
Draconic.
can do Undercommon.
Oh, maybe so. So Braz, most of the writing that you see on here seems to be details about, uh, like kind of like animal details about like cave worms and like their mating habits and their breeding seasons and tunnels. Um, there also seems to be some like kind of a crude diagram of like some tunnels, and things are noted as like egg chambers. in these tunnels. And among all of this, which is, like I said, all undercommon or undercommon, you discover one carving among all of the rest that is a single sentence in common. And it reads, "The seven embrace the eighth. I came across this phrase while studying ancient scrolls and knew it referred to the legendary Zolkundur, but never understood its meaning until I looked east."
So we look east.
You do. So you look east, and from your very high vantage point on this crown of teeth, you can see the valley, in the jungle here. You see a number of hills that seem to peek out of the jungle canopy here. And there are 7 of them. And the clue seems to suggest that somewhere in that arc of hills, it's in there somewhere. So that at least narrows it down a bit.
Wait,
Okay.
how
Down
many
there.
hills were there?
There's 7. We're going to hit the 8th, which is being embraced.
Yeah, so the 7 embrace the 8th. So you see 7 hills, and so the 8th seems to
Is
be
out there.
Zulkundur. And to note, you do not see any like pyramid or Aeon Tower or anything in that area. It's just thick canopy trees. But at least the search radius has shrunk a little, so you know
It's somewhere in the middle of these sites.
somewhere in that ring. But more information for exact triangulation is yet to be found.
The hand and the lake will tell us the rest. Okay, and the lake just seems to be a little bit further west there, right?
Yeah, it's southeast from the crown of thorns that you guys crown of teeth that you're currently on. So you'd have to get back down from here and hopefully avoid worm, and then into the jungle you would descend to get to the lake in question.
Mm. All right. Do we camp up? Do we camp up here on this rock and figure it out, or what are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to like rest up here for a moment, you could. I mean, it wouldn't do you too much good aside from spending more time in the radiation. You haven't done any fighting.
No,
No.
probably boogie. Is there a way we can get the giant worm to fuck off so we can run further into the jungle?
Yeah, when we get
Um,
down there, I can throw an alchemist fire in the opposite direction.
so Braz, when you like I said, when you were looking over all the carvings up here, a lot of this stuff was about um the worms and their breeding habits and the egg chambers of their tunnels. Um, Thaxon remarks among all of this, as you're mentioning that there's stuff about the worms here. Um, that they would fiercely try to defend their young. Um, Perhaps they can be distracted uh, by something going after or something threatening where their eggs are. And at least from what you can see up here, you see that with the way the tunnels are, either if you went down there or if you had some really good throws, perhaps you could try to chuck some stuff down certain tunnels, and maybe that'll get near some spots that might distract this thing. It seems reasonable from the diagrams that you saw.
Okay, so we do a coordinated Alchemist Fire Chuck and run?
Sure.
Yeah, seems a reasonable plan. All right. So for that, let's see here.
And we know these things aren't like sentient or humane or anything like that in any major way, because we're about to firebomb their, like, nurseries.
I mean, at least from all you've ever known about, cave worms of various kinds, they're beasts.
Alrighty. Let's warm them up.
All right. So, Braz, if you want to give me a, let's see what would be a good roll for this here.
Maybe acrobatics.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Finally, a good roll.
Nice. All right. So, Maz, you get a couple of your biggest alchemist fires put together here.
No,
Braz.
I'm Braz.
Or sorry, Braz. Wrong person.
Honestly, you call yourself our mother.
So you get some greater alchemist fires put together, and kind of examine this layout here and the tunnels and holes that it has marked, and you feel like you picked a pretty good one. Kind of to the west of the spires here. That you feel like if you got a good throw, and had it go down into that tunnel a bit, it would be a bit threatening to where eggs might be, and it would probably be interested to go in that direction. And the west is also the opposite of the direction you guys are wanting to go. So it seems like a good plan. And with your throw, this kind of arcs down. The 600 feet down. Like this is a trick shot that you're doing. You're like chucking a basketball off the Hoover Dam here, uh, trying to get it into a hoop at the bottom. And you do manage to do so with your roll on acrobatics. These fall down and kind of into some of these holes that are down at the bottom. And you see them, go in there, and then you kind of hear the distant, familiar splash of them breaking, and then kind of a glow coming out of that hole. And then you hear and feel, the rumbling of this crimson worm, and you see it pop out of one of the other holes in this network of stuff, and goes quickly across the sand in the direction of the one in question, and you see it kind of dive down into that hole, seemingly concerned for what's going on in there. So a diversion is in place.
Oh, yes.
All right, so give me an athletics roll for the getting back down.
Sorry, my laptop's being slow.
That's okay. All right. Surprisingly, getting down seems to be a little more difficult for you guys.
We realized we were scared of heights.
Yeah, it's a little higher than the top of the circus tent. I mean, you're used to those heights, not so much 600 feet up in the air over sand full of worms. That's a little bit of a different scenario. So it's quite a bit of a ways down. And let's see, Maz and Grotus. You two.
Ones that actually made good athletics checks the first.
Yeah. Perhaps a little overconfident in your abilities on the way up. On the way down, There's a couple of spots where you slip a bit and kind of land on an outcropping in not the best of ways, and both of you take. Let's see here. 10 bludgeoning from those falls. I'll get that applied. Honker and Braz. Actually, I think Braz, if you want. Oh, wait, no, he has the monkey thing. That's right. Let's see. Honker and Braz. You're still getting some assistance from your slightly more athletically inclined friends, but at a couple points, you have some nasty falls in a couple spots, and at the bottom, you guys are getting close. You maybe getting a little bit antsy to get to the bottom, and you slip a bit and kind of land awkwardly on the rock and sand. Not the most smooth of landing here, and you two take 27 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Oof, ow, your bones?
I don't want to.
My goblin bones.
Your goblin bones. A little banged up. But you do get to the bottom. The worm still seems to be distracted by trying to deal with this alchemist fire that you guys did from on high. But you manage to get out of this area and into the more verdant part of the place without having to fight any worms for now. There's a lot of worms around here. It isn't called the Cradle Worms for nothing. So, into the jungle you guys head. And, the initial outer bit is, fairly low. But once it gets into like kind of that darker area is when it gets, real thick jungle, trees. You guys are under the canopy. It's kind of shaded, a little dark under here. And let's see here. With the distance for that, it takes about a day for you guys to get through the jungle to the lake here. So Maz and Grotus, give me your radiation rolls.
Oh, that's better.
Okay. Both of you are fine for the moment. All right. So, when you get to this lake here, you kind of cut through the trees and brush and reach the shore. And this lake is kind of eye-shaped. It's kind of an oblong, oval-y-ish sort of shape. And the waters here are a very pristine turquoise, and it sparkles a bit with reflections of the green radioactive crystals in the vault's dark ceiling that kind of like twinkles in the water here, like a strange sky of stars. And there are reeds and ferns and fragrant water lilies that grow along the shore here. And you see out in the lake, there is a small island, pretty much right in the middle of the lake. And you see what looks like perhaps the ruins of a building of some kind on that island. The air here is kind of rich with interesting scents coming off the vegetation and the flowers, which is also kind of surprising given all of the desert traveling and it just being sand and getting everywhere and all of your crevices and irritating your noses and whatnot.
Oof, out my crevices.
Crevices. It's coarse and
Oh, my
irritating, and
crevices.
it gets everywhere.
Honker's body is gonna be so smooth after all of this free sanding.
Right?
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Honker has just been having like a spa day this entire trip, just getting polished.
I love when my wood is polished nonstop.
Polished and oiled. Um, but for the most part, everything around this lake seems really placid and calm. There's even like a slight breeze, kind of creating subtle ripples across the surface, and leaves blowing around a little bit. It's quite beautiful, um, especially from all you've been seeing recently. It's a lot to take in.
It's beautiful.
I'm amazed. I really have to pee now.
I feel so smooth. Do you want to rub my wood?
Maybe later.
So
All right.
the island in the middle of the lake, it doesn't seem too far. It would take some swimming, um, but it seems doable.
Let's go.
All
Let's
right,
do it. Let's go swim to this
all right.
island.
Athletics checks for the swimming.
Can I argue
I mean, you
that
are
this
wood.
clown lore
Man, we haven't gotten
I
a can I
saw
argue
that
clown
coming.
lore for a while. I'm so strong.
I think Conker's doing little circles in the water again.
I think
as
Hunker being
usual.
made of wood is extra buoyant.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good at the floating. It's the moving while floating that seems to be the trouble. Because this is the second time now that Honker's gotten caught in a circle.
Like, okay, when Honker, yeah, Honker floats, but Honker doesn't need to bathe, right? There's no,
Yeah,
so the way I imagine it is like Honker hits the water, mind blanks, and he just like flails around, and he doesn't care because he knows he's not gonna die, but also like he just doesn't accomplish anything. He's not panicked.
there's no
He's just,
coordination to the strokes. It's just
yeah,
chaos.
He's just
this is just
stroking.
not something that clicks for Honker.
No sense of urgency, no direction.
Yeah.
Thriving in his element. And do any of you try to retrieve Honker and pull him along with you?
Yeah, but only after giggling about it for a minute.
All right, so Braz, you try to assist Honker with this. Give me another athletics, Braz. You go back to swim. You got Honker with you. All right,
And
so
I'm like a drowning person,
yeah,
and I
and it's like a
latch.
drowning person. Yeah. So Braz, well-intentioned, go back to try to grab Honker. And, upon grabbing Honker, Honker grabs you. And, like you said, it's like trying to swim with a drowning person. And you both are struggling a bit now. Trying to get...
Scorch, come here!
Scorch comes over. Oh, man. Scorch knows how to doggy paddle. He's a pro. Scorch gets back to you guys and, gets close enough that you can grab onto him or put Honker on his back, whatever we want to do here. But Scorch has enough swimming experience for the three of you, and manages to get you across without any unfortunate water incidents. So as you guys get close to this island, you start to hear what feel like whispers. Like there's voices that are just kind of flitting in and out of audibility in your ears. in all sorts of different languages. Some of you understand, some of them you don't at all. But you hear things like, who are you? Why are you here? And just like these whispers, and they get louder and more easy to hear the closer you get to this uh, island with the structure on it. Do any of you do anything in response to the whispers so far?
No. I mean, I'm trying to talk to him.
All right, so you like try to like answer their questions or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you? I'm Honker, of course.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm Honker. I'm Honker. I'm Honker.
All right.
Nothing really happened.
So, you're trying to respond to these, and so far, as you continue to approach the island, nothing seems to like answer back to your answer. But your, polite and curious response to trying to communicate with them uh, does seem to work out for you guys, because as you get to the island itself and climb up onto the shore, you can see the structure on this seems to be the ruins of some kind of house. And it seems like it used to be probably a pretty nice one. Like among the overgrowth on the island, you see ruins and remains of what look like, like nice, maybe like nice patios to like sit out on and like look over the lake on, stuff like that. And it's all like, full of weeds and cracked and whatnot by time now. But it seems like this was at one point pretty nice place. And you see within the structure, like as you guys get close to it, a a form, like kind of a ghostly form of some kind, seems to float within the structure itself. And you see, the interesting thing about its form as you're looking at it is it doesn't seem to land on like one particular shape. Like it's not like, oh, it's a guy. Oh, it's a Zolgath. Oh, it's, whatever else. It seems to like shift between all of these forms of like various races, as it just kind of floats there, shifting between these, and the whispers continue around you.
And it does, like, if we try to talk to it,
Could
like I'm
I
Honker.
could I do an occultism check?
Sure. Well, Maz, you know a little bit about spooky shit. And you recognize, you feel like you get the feeling that you've like run into this sort of thing before in a different way. You get the sense that this is what is known as a haunt. So this is a place where some spirit, or perhaps many spirits in this case, have collectively attached themselves to this location. Um, and it reminds you of something you ran into with this before, which was um, a decent while ago now, when you were traveling around the Swordlands, and specifically were kind of in the area up near the village of the dog dudes where you got the cool shovel. Um, there was, and of course, and also among all the mystery of the people mysteriously dying and having the nightmares and of the horse lady and whatnot, there was the abandoned farm of that spurned character who had some sort of falling out with the mayor of the initial town that you guys landed in, who he haunted that place, and you guys had interacted with his spirit there, and there was a quest that you had done at that time to help resolve his issues. And
His name was Old Carew, and he was a bastard.
yes, he was indeed. Yeah, Old Carew.
How did
Sorry,
you
I forgot. I was
remember
on mute.
that?
I've been screaming that for a second because I was on mute. But yeah, Old Carew, you son of a bitch. No.
Yes, yeah. His home was also a haunt. So
Hmm.
Maz, you kind of you get the sense that that's what's going on here. And as you're kind of looking around, you hear a voice kind of come primarily out of the form in front of you, but kind of from all around you as well. You get this kind of surround sound effect with it, like you're hearing a collective speak to you at once, and you hear, "Come, show us something new. Tell us a story. Please entertain us. We're all artists and entertainers here, as are you, or you wouldn't be here. What can you do?"
Maz, Maz, uh, says,
You said
we're,
anus.
Maz is like, we're a bunch of clowns. Here, wanna see Honker juggle?
I put it in my mouth. No, never mind. I juggle.
All right, performance check for me, Honker.
Anyone can pull this off, it has to be Honker.
All right, so Honker, tell us what you perform. What do you perform for the evidently artistic spirits of this place?
Is it spirit or spirits?
Uh, yeah, you don't really know for sure, but it seems to be spirits giving the myriad of voices of different languages and different forms this thing's taking, and the words that you've heard it speak seem to come from all
Okay.
around you. It seems to be spirits.
So, Honker and his entourage bust out a up till now never before seen acrobatic interpretation of their adventure so far.
All right.
So like it's dark and Honker, like the light comes on and like Honker wakes up and then like another entourage comes over that's like holding a bottle and like smoking or something and like takes Honker and then like, they proceed through like the different ridiculous scenes. Like you can't really recognize it very well because it's just Honker and the entourage kind of flailing around. It's
But
It's Always Sunny, the episode where Mac came out to his dad in
okay.
prison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
it's like that, where like you're just like,
Whoa.
what?
I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you do this performance, and the whispers. You can't really make out much words, but they seem pleased by this. And once you kind of finish your tale here, you hear the whispers say, "More, show us more. The rest of you, what can you do?" They seem to want more.
Um,
Grotus is gonna do the thing where he lights a match and then tosses it towards Bronze to do a fire belch onto it. Or
Heck
fire
yeah.
breathing.
All right, performance, check me out. All right. So, Braz, you do manage to successfully do this. Tell me about what you're doing.
So she kind of does like when like street performers kind of do that. Like they act like they're gonna start dancing, they stop. And she just does that till finally the match comes and she blows a huge thing of fire.
Nice. Okay. All right. So you successfully complete that. The spirits yet chant for more.
Just attempts to cast. It's like he sees they don't seem to be appeased. So he takes the time to attempt to cast favorable review on them to make them try and be satisfied.
Okay. When you're going about this, are you just trying to cast this like surreptitiously, or are you stepping forward and trying to make this your like act?
Yeah, it takes somatic and verbal. So I imagine most of Hulker's like stuff is all a performance.
Okay.
Um,
So
you know,
you begin to do this, and you hear the spirit say, "No, no, it was already your turn."
Um, okay. So Maz is going to take out her hoops and do a little dance routine with them, and hopefully as she's doing it, if whatever Grotus had Braz set on fire is still on fire, she is hopefully going to catch the edge of the blades in the fire and then juggle some flaming blades.
Okay. Roll me performance.
I hope it goes well because it sounds cool. Hero point.
Okay.
Oh god. It was so close to the 19 too.
Roll me up the other one then.
Could I argue for athletic because my routine is mostly athletic?
Yeah, you can. Because like you can do a performance check or perform like your signature trick. So if it's based on that, then yeah.
That didn't.
Oh, you
Oh,
rolled
that went with
Arcana.
Arcana.
Yeah,
Damn
wrong
it.
one. Go ahead and roll your other one. There we go. All right, so you do manage to pull this off with your fire looping onto your hoops and doing a bit of a dance around with those successfully. Does what does Scorch do? They do seem to want Scorch to do something. Does Scorch have any interesting things he does?
Oh
Of
my
course he
god, what
does.
if
He's
he
a
sings?
puppy.
What if he sings?
Scorch stands up and suddenly busts out in sonorous baritone.
And
Or
Just,
like how huskies are
yeah,
when
that's
they
exactly
howl?
where my mind went. I didn't want to. I was, yeah, but yes,
Because I mean, like, a husky is probably the closest dog breed to whatever Scorch is.
Yeah, I mean
Scorch
Scorch is
is a
like a dire
wolf.
wolf, but yeah,
Well,
he's
yeah, and huskies
Okay,
are very
I
closely related
true.
to the wolves.
I know that this started as a joke, but now I kind of want to do
Do it!
it. We're gonna do it.
All right, roll performance for
For Scorch.
Scorch.
Cool. He's got +4. This is gonna go great.
So Scorch steps forward and tries to bust out in his best dog song.
He's such a good boy.
He tries so hard, and it's definitely a bit grating on the ears. Um, the spirits don't seem quite as much of a fan of Scorch's performance there.
I mean, what did they expect? He's just a puppy.
He's just a small little baby.
But once Scorch finishes, and you feel the kind of the ambient, the feeling aura in the area kind of calm down a bit from to fine. Uh, they seem to be wanting one last thing from Mr. Grotus here.
Grotus is going to do like a belly dancing, stumbling juggle of some of his throwing knives, and then it's going to end with him tossing them all up into the air and then stumbling around as they all fall straight down, narrowly missing him.
All right. So yep, you can do performance or whatever your like trick uses. I think is acrobatics or something,
Just deception,
or
because
deception.
it looks like it's like I'm feinting attack on myself.
Gotcha. Yeah, deception then. Nice. All right, you successfully pull off this move of dancing and dodging of your various weapons and implements, and they seem appeased. These artistic ghosts. Um, and once you finish your performance here, Grotus, um, you hear from the voices around you a repeat of a question that you heard while you guys were approaching the island. Uh, who are you? Why are you here? It seems that you.
Augur tells him.
All right.
He's like, okay, first, I know I think you liked us, but did you understand us? Because that's a story that we already told you. And then he does his whole act again.
Pay attention this time.
3 hours pass.
Yes. Oh yeah.
One
Well, it
puppet
takes
rock
extra
opera.
long because, he's gotta make sure.
Right.
And it was even better the second time.
All right. So you give kind of the details about your circus going ways and being entertainers, and they reply,
We
ah.
speak.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, we seek Zolkender.
So you hear kind of a gasp in unison from the spirits around you, and you hear, Zolkandur! So many have come here to find it. We did too. We never found it. But we did. We can't find our way back. The answer is somewhere here. Look around.
That's what we were doing before you asked us who we were, who we were, who we were.
This is our home. Travelers call this lake the Azure Eye, and our house is a place for artists and storytellers. Isn't that why you came?
It's true. We
Yes.
came to hear your story, how to get to Zolkender.
Um, if you have any other questions about, you know, things with this area or stuff you've heard, feel free to ask if and you can see if they have any info for you.
Do
Once,
you
Didn't.
once,
Sorry. Go.
I was gonna ask like if they knew how to avoid the or destroy the aberration that
Oh,
exists in the desert.
Iftisil. Okay. Uh-huh. The spirits reply, uh, the, the terror, the terror. It has existed for eons. We do not know any way to destroy, but we have heard it has fascination with the orb.
Oh shit. Okay. And we're after the orb. So
And you guys also
that's
carry the reflections of orbs within you.
yeah.
oh
The
god.
orbs are inside of all of us.
So now we know why it's so curious about us.
Indeed. So it would seem. there any other questions you have about things around down here, whether in the Cradle of Worms or the Black Desert in general, before we go looking around the area here?
Um, Maz wants to ask them
Sorry.
if they've ever met another traveler like us, like maybe someone that looked like Grotus.
Somebody who took a lot of notes, like me, but a big old nerd.
Just because she assumes that like all humanoid men look very similar.
So the spirits reply, "We have had many visitors over the eons, of many different kinds, and many have left their mark on the stones around us."
Honker at that.
We want some of those markings.
Honker sits down. He goes to the corner. He lets the people talk. And then he, saving this one, he has a spell where he sits down and sings a song about how everyone is watching, and you're never alone. And then casts Stone Tell and asks the stone these questions.
Ah, okay. So, that's an interesting one. Let's see.
Pretty cool.
Take a look at this spell here. This is interesting. Let's see. So you attempt to communicate with the stones surrounding you here, and the stones seem to tell you of many different notes and carvings that are around the area, but Honker, you kind of get the sense of one in particular. It seems to kind of connect with you in terms of your understanding of the world and language, and it seems to direct your attention towards a note uh, beneath the remains of what looks to be what used to be a window on the eastern side of the structure. You feel your attention kind of drawn that way.
Yeah, Honker will tell the group, and so we can check it out.
All right, give
The stones
me
told me.
perception. Oh, go ahead, Honker. Continue.
That's all I say. It's just like the stones told me things, and then go over there.
Maz just nods her head sagely, like, yeah, I understand.
Of course, the stones told you
It's
things.
Honker says that the wisdom came from Gronka. That's
It would seem
I
that
think
way.
that's I think that's why I took that spell.
That makes sense. So, Honker, you're feeling very in touch with Gronka and the rocks and things right now, and you head over to this window, and looking around the carvings here, you pretty quickly hone in on this thing that had kind of drawn your attention, and you see a carving written in common, similar to kind of in a similar look to the one you saw at the top of the pillars, and it says, "Keep your eye on the three-fingered hand. Now observe the arm. The legendary Zulkundur lies to the right." And you look out the window here to the east, and you can see on the map of the area here from the island in the middle of the lake looking to the east, you see a river extending into the midst of these hills that you saw from high up above, and the river seems to split into three, connecting to some of the hills where wherever this comes from, springs or something, perhaps you assume. But it kind of makes the shape of a hand reaching out.
Okay. Do we have any more questions we want to ask these guys? Can you guys leave this house? Do you want to come see what we're doing? Like, do you want to come with us?
Yeah, come check out.
No, no, we are here to make art. We cannot be distracted by such things. We came here to focus.
Okay, fine. I mean, I feel like, all right, I'm not gonna judge, but I mean, art, yeah, whatever.
All
Walker
right.
grumbles. He does not understand. He judges.
So, with that information, the field of search is narrowed a little bit more. So it is inside the ring of hills and to the south of the river, because it said it was to the right of the arm from where you guys were on the island. So south of the river in the ring. With one more point of triangulation, we'd have something exact.
Okay, so we have that and that. Um, where, what do you guys think we can find more clues? I go ask the
Um,
artist. Where's another clue? You bastards. You artistic sons of bitches.
Well,
We traded our performing arts.
I mean, you guys are aware of another clue, the hand.
Oh,
Yeah, the three fingers shutting out of the.
yeah.
It's probably the remains of the Titan.
Yeah, to the south.
okay.
It looks like a giant stone hand sticking out of the ground.
Let's go lick it. I want to lick it.
It's probably lickable. All right. So, you guys decide to travel to the south, towards the giant stone hand. And with the thickness of the jungle and the distance, this takes another 2 days. So, Grotus, Maz, give me
Oof.
your tingly bit roll.
Um, man.
Uh,
Okay. All right. So
I'm gonna
you.
take a. I'm gonna take a hero point on that first one. I don't want to weak it trained.
Okay. Well, if we assume you took a hero point, then the second roll we'll take that's in there, which was fine. It was a 36. 39 also works. So, Grotus, you're fine. Maz, you're feeling gross again and feel drained 1. And you guys make it to the south. As you're coming up to the south, you eventually get out of the thick jungle and becomes more kind of bushy and smaller trees as you get further up. And you see ahead of you a massive clawed hand, built out of stone, these kind of large blocks, and it rises from the sands. And the surface of the stone is quite marred with cracks, and it looks like the hand was once part of something larger. And there are tufts of grass in shades of purple and brown kind of growing in patches around the hand here. But the rest of it is nowhere to be found, perhaps beneath the sand.
yuck.
Let's go digging. Do we still have that magic shovel?
Sure do.
What does it
Moz
do
takes
again?
out the bag of holding and just like has a sly grin as she's like slowly pulling the shovel out of it. Like just up into the air. And then hands it to Groden.
That's cool. What's it do again?
The
Seems like a
shovel
magic shovel.
basically you can have it dig on its own. Like you can be like dig like here's an area I want dug, dig, and it will dig.
Yeah. Dig out around them Titan's fingers.
All right. So you approach the hand and set this shovel to work here. Here, let me get the map of the hand up here. Here we go. Let me get you guys. Oopsies. Wrong one. There we go. Okay. Big hand. So as you guys are approaching this hand here, you after a moment feel a kind of a quick rumble in the sand beneath you, and a creature pops out with its jaws agape. Kind of a funky looking thing.
Isn't everything around
No,
here?
it's cute. It looks like an alligator with hair.
Yeah, it looks like it almost looks like a mix of like an alligator or perhaps like a hippopotamus, a cat, some kind of lizard. It's an interesting combination of things, and it's a interesting hue of color too. This blue, purplish, and pink hair. But it seems to have taken notice of you all, coming and approaching its space here.
Okay.
Everybody, roll me up initiative.
Hell yeah.
Happy to.
And you can see, like, as it kind of bares its teeth at you all, you can see what, like, black liquid, like, dripping off of her teeth. And, as it breathes, heavily, you see, like, look like clouds of black coming out of its mouth. Uh, Seems kind of unpleasant. All right. Top of the order with this thing. So all of you hear in your mind a voice telepathically speaking to you all of, "Don't resist. Your souls are mine."
Okay.
And it runs. Get this a little bigger here on my screen so I can see it. It runs across the sand in your direction, Honker. And claws at you, hitting. And then with its other action, claws again. Oof.
Hmm.
Critting. And that is its turn.
That was unkind of you
Indeed.
That's
to
not
do to
okay.
me.
Grotus, you're up. Big hulking purple beast.
Enraged and engorged by this brazen attack on
Lord.
dear sweet Honker. Uh, Grotus indeed flies into action with a flying kick and a stumbling strike.
Pow, miss. Whoosh.
Woof. All right, I'll do it again. I don't give a fuck. This is well. First, I'm gonna do deception and then flurry blows.
Okay.
Get deceived, asshole.
Success.
Yeah, you don't know what's coming. You ain't ready for this shit.
All
You don't
right.
know nothing about this. For my next flurry of blows, be stumbled for my next flurry of blow here.
Ah,
Here it
yes. Let me
comes.
roll the fortitude for that. It rolls a 53.
Good God.
It is not stunned. But you did deceive, so. Hmm.
Shapers,
Woof.
creepers.
God damn.
Guys, I'm gonna die here.
I'm trying not to make it so. But yeah, that's my turn.
All right. Maz.
Um. Okay. Really dumb question.
Yeah.
Is there a map that I'm not seeing?
Oh, let me share it again.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, here, let me unlock tokens. I don't have to deal with that. There you go. Scoot yourselves
So
as you wish.
she's going to over here, and then she's gonna do some stabbing.
Okay. If I recall correctly, I believe a feat you got last time made it so like all of your stuff you do is sneak attacks.
Yeah.
Because you're like hard to observe.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll them up.
Man, the weed is hitting
Here's
at the worst time.
Oh man. All right. Raz.
I'm gonna heal up our little honky boy here. Okay, go, buddy.
All right. Honker's feeling a little bit better from that. Faxon, our hunter
good
friend.
fucking work, Thaxon. You've been useless since now. Look at me. You were supposed to be protecting me.
All right. So the Faxon pulls out the composite longbow here and starts to fire off a few shots. Damn.
Wow, Thaxton, you suck.
They did manage to hit on that one. So, let's see. Oops. Roll me the damage. All right. And with their shots that they're doing, they're shooting like 2 arrows at a time in like rapid successions. Both of these strike. And that looks to be their turn. Okay, Honker. You're slightly more alive feeling than you were.
Um, Honker will inspire courage on the group. Thanks.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in you, buddy, but I think you can do better. Watch, see how I'm doing? It's not like you. You can hit harder and faster and stuff. And then I'll telekinetic bombard the guy.
All right.
Um it
Was that
oh
the one where
wait.
you're like grabbing something and throwing something at it?
Yeah, it's a yeah, I grab a piece of the landscape.
Okay. Yeah, there's like stones. There's some decent sized stones that have like broken off of this hand over the years.
Okay.
So you pick up one of those.
Okay, so I throw that at him and saves him.
Oh, all right. It manages to dodge out of the way of that flying rock entirely.
Okay. Well, that's like you guys, anybody that's behind Honker sees a tiny little round uh cylinder like eject from behind him. That's his turn.
All right. Score.
Scorch will move down by Grotus and tail flail this bitch.
All right. And I believe this would trigger Maz's strike because they're attacking the same thing as Maz, right? I think.
Um, Scorch
Yeah, because
or
it
Bras?
don't you have the like attack like if your comrade attacking the same thing attacks and you get like a
It has to be a melee attack.
it is a melee attack.
Yeah,
Scorch
it is.
is
Scorch
melee.
is using his tail
That's
flail.
why I asked if it was for Scorch or Bras.
Yeah, Braz didn't attack it.
Yeah, Braz did the healing. But Scorch, yeah, Scorch is attacking it in melee, so that I think that would fire off your free smack.
Yes, I believe so. I don't think I have to be within arm's length. I think we just have to be
Attacking the same thing.
physically attacking the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Go ahead. Free
Okay.
stab.
One moment, I didn't realize it was going to be my roll. I was in the middle of crafting a thing. Okay. I'm going. I'm going.
It's a hit.
Okay.
I love free hits.
Would the feat I took about sneak attack apply to this hit too?
Yeah, like all of your everything is sneak attack now because
Okay.
you're a dodgy little fucker.
Let me get sneak attack up because I think it has a damage roller in there.
Okay. Does that does that increase with level? I feel like.
Sneak attack? Yes, I think so.
Let me find out real quick. Okay, it looks like it. Oh wow.
Yeah, the damage gets scary.
Okay, we've been
Like a
rolling. We've been
lot.
rolling
Ooh,
far too little sneak damage for you. Because it looks like it starts out 1d6, and since you are a rogue, every 2 levels you're getting an additional 1d6. So at this point you'd have so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'd have 8 d6.
Oh, I was just going by the 5, 11, 17. I didn't realize it was every other level because of my class.
At least that's what I'm seeing when I look it up here. Yeah, one d6 every other level because you're a rogue. So yeah, your sneak attacks are 8d6.
Oh, sweet. And now I get to roll that every attack that
You
hits.
do get to roll it. That's pretty nuts. Rogues get scary. All right, roll me up, and I'll apply it manually if it doesn't have the roller for it in your thing.
It doesn't.
Okay, just roll 8d6 and I'll sort it out.
So because the because my keyboard doesn't have a proper right and left click, I don't know
Oh,
how
I'll get it for you
to
then.
do it.
All right, 6, 7. Oh wait, those are not d6s. My bad. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, if you're rolling d8s, that works.
All right, 8 d6s. 33. Get that applied here.
Hee hee.
All right. Which brings us to top of the order with this thing. All right. So this kind of rears back a bit, and you see it kind of inhale, and it slams down on the sand. And in a, let's see, the cone would be, let me get a shape here. Wait, where did they move that to? Nope, that's grid type. Oh, draw cone. Here it is. 30 foot. Okay, so 30 foot from here. All right, so Grotus and Honker and Thaxon. There we go. I'm going to roll a reflex save on all you guys. All right, Thaxon manages to dodge somewhat, or dodge somewhat and takes half damage. Honker fails, and Grotus just says fuck you entirely to the whole thing. So this thing is breathing out this cloud of like black, ashy something or other across this cone. So let's see. Untarget Grotus since they didn't take anything.
Grotus has had wilder drugs in his system.
Right. Oh wait, oops, that was the wrong thing. That was a save. It's supposed to be wrong button. Where's the clickable for that? Oh, here it is. That's not the damage. That's just... Where is its damage thing? All right. I don't know where its why its damage clickable thing is. So 1, 2. Here we go. 18d6.
Good God.
Indeed. So Honker, you take 70 from this. Thaxon takes 35.
God damn it, I just fixed Tonker.
All right. There we go. Got that onto Honker there. All right. So this kind of there's definitely some heat to this. Black breath washes over you, and you feel like it's kind of a burning sensation on you as it washes over you here. And that is its turn. Maz.
Um, she's just gonna stab you.
All right. Stab ahoy. A hit. Roll the damage and then roll your 8d6 extras.
Wait, that's the wrong one.
Okay. Cruddy rolls on that, but let's see how we get on the sneak attack.
I can't roll the 18.
Oh, right. You can't because of your laptop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You're
8.
a laptop. How about that?
27 additional damage.
And then it's also, since it's considered a sneak attack, it's also getting a debilitating
Oh,
um
for like the bleed, right?
debilitation. What?
That's the bleed, right?
Yeah, I usually do the bleed.
Okay, go ahead and apply the bleed then.
I didn't have all of my stuff opened.
Yeah, I can pull it up.
I'm so dumb.
You fool. All right, well, while you're getting that applied.
They take 3d6 persistent bleed.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 3d6. So 16 this time. Okay, and they have the persistent bleed on them. Okay. And that was your first attack. Go ahead and first actions. Go ahead and do whatever else you want to
God, it's slow.
do.
Oh God.
You're just continuing to strike.
Yes.
Okay, I can roll it for you if your laptop's being slow. So strike number 2 is a miss, unfortunately, and strike number 3 is a hit. So 19 there, and then I'll roll your extra sneak. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An additional 34. Okay. Brings us to Grotus.
I said,
We
really,
believe you got
it's
this.
time to really start stumbling and striking. I'm gonna have it.
Oh, fire away.
Yes.
Oh!
I'm gonna roll a lot better after this deception.
Alright. Deceive
You
ahoy.
deceive, you asshole.
That's enough.
Oh, for legendary deceptions. I'm turning on off guard for this flurry of blows. Suffer the flurry. See how they blow.
Boom. Nice.
That's what's up. First damage I got on this guy.
Alright.
He
Laying
can
into him
roll
good.
his fortitude save.
I will do so.
Get stunned.
Alright. Fortitude rolls a 46, which, so it's not stunned.
Well, I think
But you're still doing damage, so continue.
I'm still damaging. All right, that's my turn.
Okay. All right. Thaxon took some damage from the breath, but goes to fire off some more shots.
He's got Grotus and Hunker and himself
That's a hit.
locked. But
Nice. Oh, oh,
Paxton
oh,
is
whoa.
hitting me.
Oh, whoa,
he,
whoa, whoa.
Paxton,
yeah,
you son of
Thaxton
a
has
bitch.
Grotus and Hunker and himself
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
latched on too.
My bad. My bad. I will fix that. Let's see.
Hunker picks up the little cylinder and throws it at him.
All right.
And it kills him.
Let's see. So there's that scene. Then Grotus takes off 13. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. Second shot. Nice. All right. So with let's see. No, okay, that's just the end of Thaxton's turn. Okay. Honker.
Hunker and his entourage again begin the performance, a very abridged version
Mm.
of the performance of Honker's life
Right.
on this sumbitch, which comes out to be this canticle of everlasting grief spell. God damn it, dude!
Mm.
Hunker commits seppuku. Just turns and falls on his bowling pin. uh, no, he gets frustrated. He pulls out a juggling club and just throws it at this guy for his last action.
It hits.
God damn it! Really? Fucking
I love
really?
that happened.
That's so good.
It's non-lethal damage because it's a juggling club. But there you go.
Oh.
Look, you got max damage.
Max damage.
That's my turn. That's Hunter's turn.
Dunk.
I don't know how Scorch is gonna top that.
All right, Scorch.
Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. But that's okay.
Well, it hit. So go ahead and just roll whatever. There we go. All right, continue. Oh, miss on that one. Ooh.
All right, that's it.
All right. So after Scorch's hit there, you see this creature that you've been fighting kind of step back a bit, and its mouth kind of widens into this wide, kind of toothy grin of sorts. And it looks at you all and says, "Okay, we need not fight. I have information I'm sure you need." And you hear this all in your head.
You started it.
I know,
Have you?
but I'm willing to talk. We don't have to fight.
What the fuck, Gerald? Can I call you Gerald? I'm gonna call you Gerald.
I am Nephrothit.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna call you Gerald. I can't pronounce that.
What you
Not
did
for
to
this.
me hurt today, Gerald. Do you? And now you want me to drop that?
Well,
You heard me.
I am a hungry creature, and we do not see many travelers through this area these days. You can
Should we kill him,
understand.
guys? I'm hungry.
Let's hear him out. But Gerald, I swear to God, if you honker anymore, I will kill you.
All right. So Neferthet is, I'm sorry, Gerald is open to hearing your questions. You've bonked them enough that they're willing to talk instead of eat your souls.
I don't have a soul for him to eat. You can't even eat my soul and you attacked me. I have nothing to ask you. Throw the cylinder at him. And I sulk inside of Scynthia's Kardashian cheeks.
Are there any questions you guys have for this thing?
Yeah, how do we get to Zolkander?
Okay. So it replies, Zolkander. I believe it to be a structure of some kind. Perhaps a pyramid like those that dotted the sands of Osirian in my time there. It is rumored to be hidden somewhere in the cradle. I do not know where. I suspect it is connected to that stone hand, though.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm not.
What
Yeah.
did the hand belong to? Or is the hand just the hand by itself, or was it part of a larger structure?
Ah, once, very long ago, a large statue of an ugly lizard stood here, but the sands of the Black Desert have claimed all of it except that hand. People of the desert call it a sunken titan. Travelers sometimes carve words on its surface. That is, the ones that make it to the top before I kill them.
To the top, you say? What's the best? Is there an easy way up to the top? We got to read something that somebody wrote.
So like the hand and arm is kind of angled, like it's kind of coming out of the ground at an angle. So it'd just be kind of a walking up a hill situation, pretty much.
Okay.
While they're talking, Roz goes over and carves "fuck you, Gerald" into the arm.
Yeah, I hope you read it every day, ass. Fucking ass, you bit our friends. You one-eyed, no-horn, flying purple people here eat shit.
Honker pokes his head out of Skintia and says, Friends don't bite friends.
It's
And he
like the
goes back.
first thing I taught.
Hey, Gerald, lick my butthole, and then Roz will go into
Oh,
Skinthia
that
to comfort
escalated.
Honker.
There you go. Well, so we need to get to the top of this hand, and then we need to look to the right, right?
No, this the clue about the right was with the river. So looking out of the
Okay.
window from that structure on the island, the river looked like an arm with a hand, and you know it's to the south of the river because it's on the right side of the arm. So this is a third triangulation point that you're getting here.
Let's get up there, guys.
All right. So if you have no further questions for Neferthet, um, they
Gerald.
Gerald,
Just
sorry.
do you know of any treasure?
Well, let's see here.
You hurt my feelings. And my arm here. You chipped. It was polished so nicely. I've been polishing my wood for weeks straight while I'm getting sick. Maybe it's related, but
They say, well, my treasures are souls. There was a large group of creatures with souls from Shrane who studied the hand several months ago. Drow and their minions. I don't know what they were looking for. Zulkunder, perhaps, as they escaped me before I could even get close to them.
fair. Okay.
All right. Any other last questions?
No.
Okay. All right. So with that, Gerald leaves and leaves you to your business with the hand and talking to it, perhaps.
Ah,
All right. So you
Oh,
go
I
to.
just got that.
So you go to make your way up the hand, which, it is angle, but it is still kind of steep. Definitely nowhere near as steep as the previous climb you had a few days ago. But give me an athletics check for getting up this kind of steep, angled, still somewhat smooth-ish statued surface.
Hey, Hunker, why don't you just
Hunker's
go right
sulking.
on Scorch?
Full sulking, like kicking
Oh,
rocks and stuff like that.
oh,
So, yeah,
all right.
that's what's happening.
I mean, I can see, like, bras just picking up sulking Honker and putting them on Scorch.
Yep.
Just... All right, so you do all with Honker disgruntledly get up onto this hand, and here on the palm, much like the rock on the crown of teeth, you see phrases and draconic and undercommon and whatnot. And most of the carvings here are fairly simple, like little notes or kind of mocking notes, mocking the statue or the empire it used to belong to, um, and
Mocking Gerald.
mocking Gerald perhaps. Um, but in looking around, you find where two of the fingers come together. There's kind of a narrow bit, kind of a narrow uh, wedge here. And stuck in between the stones, you find what looks to be a sheet of a very durable leather that has been kind of stuffed in here and held in place by these rocks. And you're able to pull it out. And on the leather, you see some writing that says, "The pteranodons of the jungle nest on the tallest tree in the cradle, but elsewhere there are none. An ancient scroll once claimed that visitors to Zulkundur were greeted by shrieking dinosaur birds that glided above that place. So Zulkundur must be near to that tree."
All right.
All right, so it seems we have a spot to head at the tallest tree to the south of the river within the hills with pteranodons, evidently.
All right. Tree to the
And
south in the hills. It's fucking rock socket Pteranodon.
all right. And before we head to that way, we're going to call that good there for tonight and head to find Zulkundur next time.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Good stuff. Thanks for coming, guys.
You're running tonight, man.
So kinda. Ooh.
And I guess we'll find out if we get hit with anywhere between 4 inches to 28 inches of snow tonight.
Oh, okay.
I
Good for
Yeah.
told you
you.
the polar vortex, bro.